Alright, so let's see. Let me get some of this stuff out the way. Do this. Alright. Get my camera set up, man. Wait a second. There we go. Alright, let me get my screens up and then we'll get started. Let me get my screens up on this side. Alright, here we go. So we started the morning brief. We still speaking on Middle East tensions. We're still watching the defense sector, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and RTX. We still watching the tech sector for recovery, and we are also watching energy, which energy is kind of dying out now that they had the ceasefire in between Israel and Iran. So now that that stuff is now that that stuff is dying out, you'll see energy stocks coming down, oil futures coming down. So you probably gonna see those fall off of our watch list, our target watch list in the group. So that's just giving you a update on what we're looking at right now. Our current positions, well, my current positions are just Google and Apple. I have some other positions like that Boeing that we speaking of that we've been talking about in the group. I'm looking at that to come down and find an entry. Find us a good entry on Boeing. This is the daily chart. We just closed below this VWAP. So yeah, I'm looking for an entry on a few stocks that are on our list. Boeing, and then a new one that came up. I haven't posted the rest of those yet in the group. I only got the first two up because I wanted to go ahead and jump on this live before the market opened. But we got three more on there. Four of them y'all already seen. One of them is new. It's a defense stock that I'll be posting that in the group once I get off of here. So yeah, that's just an overview. Now let's look at what news we got, and actually let me switch to my stocks one. Is that it? Nah, it's up here. Yeah, let's look at what news we got today. That's a filter on there for US only. We'll do 3 stars. We got Jerome Powell speaking at 34 minutes. So he must be speaking like at 9 o'clock. New home sales, and then the weekly crude oil inventories at 10:30. Nothing too crazy, so we might have a decent trading day, especially if Jerome Powell comes on there speaking pretty positive. If he's speaking dovish, which they kind of forcing his hand now that things are mellowing out with the war, Tariffs still at the forefront. Potential tariffs could cause inflation to go up. So depending on what Jerome's saying in about 30 minutes, that's probably gonna give us some direction in the market. Hopefully he's speaking more along the dovish side, the way he's ready to cut rates. A few of the other members of the board or members of the Fed spoke the other day, and they were talking pretty good about rate cuts, potentially in July, but mainly they looking at like I think around like September, November. So once we start getting those rate cuts, we'll start seeing the market gain some momentum to the upside. If they come next month, then we're gonna fly. If we end up getting a surprise rate cut next month, the market gonna fly. So not much news today. I think we do got some stuff tomorrow. The GDP, durable goods, initial jobless claims, and then this week, going into Friday, we got PCE, core PCE. Alright, so that about wraps it up for our news today. I think the fear greed index still around neutral. Oh, we in greed mode now, so we starting to gain some momentum. That's good. And oh yeah. Okay, no need to go over upgrades and downgrades. Market getting ready to open in like 2 minutes. Let me bring up CNBC and I'll put that in the background so y'all ain't got to hear that. And we'll look at a couple of the stocks that we got on our watch list. The CVX. We looked at Boeing already. CVX.
Hi, welcome back. We got a little less than 2 minutes before we get started with trading here at the New York Stock Exchange. Here's a name we don't talk about too often, Jim. We've got an upgrade of Kraft Heinz to neutral from sell. I thought it was interesting. Take a look. Of course, this stock has been nothing but pain. Go back, go back, go back, and it's probably not going to look much better.
See, this is what we were just saying, that the energy stocks are starting to fall. So I think CVX is going to be coming off our list. At least for playing it to the upside. I would play that to the downside as the energy sector's cooling off. But as far as the calls to the upside, I'm not looking at getting into those positions. With the way that energy is cooling off across the board, you'll start seeing all these energy stocks on the way down. Baker Hughes, Occidental, Shell, everything's coming down in the on the energy side. So I'm gonna let that do what it do until it start to find some support or something like that, and we gain another story to play energy to the upside. I think I'm more so leaning towards tech gaining its footing again and some support, and that money rolling over to some other companies outside of the Nvidias and AMDs. More like, that's why I'm favoring those Apple and Google plays. Market opening up now. We got a nice pop on the Apple is up 200. Google is up 116. Apple up 230. So we got a nice open to start. Let's see. Looking flat. Actually, no, not flat. We up $1.50 on Apple, and those contracts up 300 on the day right now. The Google is looking decent. It's up 140 on the day. We're coming off of this bottom band, so I think we'll continue higher at least till we get up to this 172. The 200 MA, and this is also the 20 MA right here. We'll probably continue higher and start seeing some resistance once we get there. Depending on the momentum when we get there, we probably blow through that, retest, and continue higher. I think that's where we're going with this. Coming off of this bottom band, we're likely to go ahead and push towards the upside of these Bollinger Bands, putting us around like the lower 180s. So that's what I'm seeing on the Google position. Apple is now up $2. That position's up 480 right now. And yeah, we're doing the same thing with Apple, coming off of that bottom band, pushing towards the top side of the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. So that's a pretty strong setup. Plus, we're coming out of this symmetric triangle, pennant triangle, however you want to see it, formation. And it looks like we got a break with this. Let me get this out of the way. With this increase in volatility, we had a break and we'll retest. And it looked like we can go ahead and continue pushing higher. Now we're up $2.20, up 500 on that position. Let me see if I can bring it over here. Maybe y'all can see it on my screen. Up $2.45. We're up 600 on that position. This is the Apple position right here. We're still down on it altogether, but we up 650 today, 600 today, 550 today. It's moving a lot. So yeah, that's what we at on the two positions that I'm actively in. I did post the Boeing and the CVX play in the group. I'm gonna post the other three that's on the target watch list in the group. And yeah, we'll just monitor these positions here, the Apple and the Google position. I think we did have one of our shooters made some money on the McDonald's play. McDonald's is down this morning, 80 cents. So that wasn't a bad exit for that short play. That's why I wanted to get out of it, because I only had them out to July 18th, and I couldn't afford for it to come back down here this week and then not make it back to where we got this profit here. We would have lost some profit due to the time decay, and we wouldn't have got a chance to exit, before going into the weekend. So that would have killed us. Now it could continue, it could bounce and continue higher, but if we had longer contracts, then I probably would have waited and let it caught it down here and got another one or two, and then rolled it back up. Just depending on how the price movement was, but being down here on the RSI like this, I like McDonald's. So if we come back down here and form like a double bottom, I'm probably gonna be looking for re-entry. Some maybe like a month or two out, probably like 2 months out. Give me a little bit of time and get pretty close to the money, like those 290s like we had or something like that. If we get down here deep enough, maybe shoot for 285s, but the 290s were pretty good. We got that third touch on this trend line all the way back to August 24. Second touch was January 25, and then here we are again, June 25. So a double bottom here and a third touch on this trend line is going to be a nice setup to play to the upside. So let's watch that. That's not on our target watch list, but that's just a recent play we were in. So we see what's going on there. We can watch that. Lockheed has been giving some nice setups coming off of this bottom band. Every time we get a little bit more excitement on the whole Israel-Iran deal, we get a nice rally to the upside and then coming down. Like, it's been a nice range here, and this is on the daily. So you've been able to catch some nice swings on Lockheed Martin. So I'm gonna drop the other three picks in the group. We up 263 on Apple. That was up nice. Yeah, we up 600. I'm gonna drop the other three in the group, and we'll just keep an eye on the current positions, and I'll update y'all on everything. I'll update y'all on everything that I see throughout the day. I think we got one more thing I wanted to drop to y'all. The battle plan. Did I put it in the group? Yeah, the battle plan. I'll speak on that in the group too. We up $3 on Apple. That position is up 650 on the day, 680 on the day. Come on. And we got plenty of room to go on that. All right. So yeah, we'll chop it up about the battle plan, and I'll drop those other 3 plays in the group. Just manage your risk. Wait for opportunities. Don't rush it, and let's get active, shooters. I'll let y'all in group chat.